Okay, I did a review a while back of the Banggood motorcycle headlight, and some slightly different ones came up in one of the flash sales recently, so I decided to buy a few and see what they look like in the flesh. The price was very good, and seller looked very reasonable according to the reviews, so here is the Banggood motorcycle headlight. Now it is actually smaller than the previous ones, a little bit, not a great deal, but it is still slightly smaller, and it feels, apart from the back end, it feels like it's all metal, which I think is a slight improvement over the original ones. Still uses a 4 LED arrangement, and comes with quite lightweight cable, but being LED shouldn't require that much current. So let's take it apart and have a look. Now these come apart quite easily. They just unscrew, and you're left with a ring. Clunk. You're left with a lens, and you have a printed circuit board and the wire, and then you're left with a base heatsink. Now, a couple of sharp bits I notice on the edge of here, but normally that's covered up. Not sure whether I like the fact that this is floating loose. There are no screws to take it apart. There are no... the fact that you can just unscrew it and it comes to pieces, in one way is a good thing, in another way could be a little bit of a bad design, but on the whole, for what I plan to use it for, which would be video lights, it doesn't really make much difference. For those of you who want to use them on a motorcycle, it may be a slightly different concern. So what do you have? You've got DC in, you've got plus and minus, you've got a couple of diodes, an inductor, capacitor, resistor, ubiquitous 8-pin chip. You have another resistor and a capacitor there, resistor, and 4 LEDs, surface mount LEDs. All in all, a very simple board. Now, so if I put it back together, you'll see that it works quite nicely. As I say, you get this right. This, if you keep moving, it will eventually wear through the insulation. Try and get that centered. Get the lens over the LEDs and try and hold it all in position in one go. And then that's it, just get it so that the threads click, and away you go. That is the assembly back together. This part pivots so that you can mount it to your headstock and point it, or if it has a carrier round by the forks, you can mount it and angle it. You could, I suppose, mount it on a car underneath on fog light mountings, and again point it sideways on. It has various uses, I would imagine. So let's put the power supply on. Let's go neutral. If I can get the neutral to stay, neutral to neutral. Let's see if I can clip it on the end of the wire like that. Instant light. Yes, a very bright, clear light. I won't shine it in the camera because you can actually see how bright it is. Compared to the bench lights, it is very bright. Very little heat is coming off the heatsink, which is a good thing. Maybe if that circuit board was bonded directly to the heatsink and fixed with, say, screws, it might transfer the heat a bit better. So longevity, I think time will tell. I'm currently actually only running it at 11 volts. Now, I did, as I say, I did do an experiment. If you turn it down below 9 volts or 9.5 volts, it switches off. But you can actually run it all the way through. That's running at 28 volts, which is what a truck would give out while the alternator was charging the battery. And again, my thoughts on the thin wire were that maybe a bit too thin, but then at 28 volts it's drawing 170 milliamps, which is not a great deal of current at all. If I drop the voltage back down to about 12, at 12 volts, there we go, it's actually drawing 450 milliamps, so this wire is perfectly adequate for that sort of situation. For vehicle use, some waterproofing would have been nice. If I actually turn it down to face the floor, reconnect it, there you go. And if I turn the bench lights down, you can actually see the splashback from the, let's turn those other lights down, wrong ones, those ones, right, that's the splashback you're getting from the back of the light. So if we bring those back on, there we go, they're the two backlights on my desk. Let's go up with the main lights again. So you do get some splashback through the heatsink, showing that it is effectively open. You couldn't say it was waterproof at all. So maybe that will influence your decision, maybe not. But as a bright white light, let's just see. You know, you could say it fills the void. Again, if I turn the lights down and just have the two spots, that's actually quite a bright fill. So that is a reasonable amount of. It's enough to overexpose. Obviously, the settings I've got at the moment on the camera for my hand. Let's put a torch there just because I can. As you see, it perfectly illuminates everything. Grab a circuit board. You could easily work under a few of those. They're quite handy, and yeah, it looks overexposed on the camera, but I can actually see all the detail quite clearly on that board. So I would say certainly a very bright, very useful little light. So there we go, the Banggood motorcycle headlight. Thank you very much.